before the first gen even pops. Trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Ricky's AT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down. Three, two, one.
Welcome back, everybody, to Vigo's Court. I'm your judge, Little Rugar, and with me today is Counselor Poggy, and we've got another exciting match on the agenda. Let's see what we got on the docket today.
I'm Poggy.
Today we have Plops versus Death by Pallets, and they will be going head-to-head on, if I remember correctly, this is the Fractured Cowshed, with 156 square tiles, 9,984 meters squared, 8 hooks minimum, 13 hooks max, with that one nasty permagen being in the cowshed itself. Poggy 1v1 me in the cowshed. Don't at me.
What? What are we doing?
What?
I'm
You
gonna
never heard that
1v1 you in the
phrase?
cowshed?
1v1 me at the cowshed?
I've never heard that. That's new to me. Never heard that one.
Really?
Huh. So,
Okay. Well,
So
good
we're
to know. We
getting in
learned
here.
something today.
we got people in here, but not a lot. We have Heaven Leon Killer and Casper9376 on Survivor, but I don't know where the rest of the team is at. But hopefully we'll see them soon.
I guess this is what they mean. 1v1 me at the cowshed, Poggy.
I think so. I think this is what they meant. Very good.
goodness.
Oh, no, it's not a 1v1 anymore. However, we do have things to cover before we go in. There's been some developer
my
updates and stuff,
goodness.
and I know Rue was really excited to talk about it, so I'm going to let him do it. Rue, tell us about these
right.
updates that you're talking about.
I'm sure most people in the stream by now have seen the teased decisive strike change. And I have heard from a wide variety of people love and hate for it. If I have to take a personal stance, I think it was overshooting a tad on the nerf side. I understand where they were coming from, and I appreciate that they looked at it and they said, you know, this really is kind of an oppressive perk in some areas. Let's change it. I think they just overshot it a tad. Everyone that I knew that had a problem with Decisive Strike just wanted lockers or touching gens to be the thing that negated it. Not every single action except actually entering a locker. Which, to be fair,
And
I mean, at that point,
actually disagree.
if you do, you are literally tunneling them off the hook if they jump into a locker, and that's literally the point of tunneling off the hook. So, yeah. What you got?
And I disagree, because for me, it's not a matter of they overshot it. I think they completely missed the mark altogether. I think that what disables Decisive Strike should be the act of downing and hooking another player. I think it should be based on the killer's momentum, not the survivors doing objectives, in my opinion. Because currently, the way it acts is as a momentum killer. Not killer like player, but killer like... It ruins momentum. So, if I'm doing really well as killer, and I'm not tunneling, and I hook someone, and I come off the hook, and then I hook someone else, I'm not tunneling them anymore. And so DS should be deactivated at that point, in my opinion. But I can still appreciate that the change that they're making is at least going to remove their ability to do objectives without leaving the state of being in DS. So I can at least appreciate that, even though to me it slightly misses the mark. By the way, thank you to Little Rugard. Who's that? For subscribing at tier 1 for 3 months. Thank you. Thank you, Little Rugard. I hope I get to meet you someday.
Yes, thank you indeed.
And
what is wrong with us tonight?
What is this other change?
I will say,
you have another
in regards
thought on
to the DS change you're talking about, I think one of the issues with there is that it's so complicated to find out that situation, right? Oh, okay, we lost. Never mind. Anyway, but that's the problem is that the whole thing with like, why do people camp? Why do people tunnel? It's because it's a game structure that happens and you can't really program a way in to prevent it. Like, you're just going to negate an entire aspect of the game. Like last night on my stream, I technically camped out 2 people on hook. But it's because there was 2 gens in that exact same vicinity, one of which was 75% done, and I didn't want them to come and finish it on me. I'm not trying to camp someone out of the game inherently. It's just that that's the way it is. But if you looked at it programmatically, they'd be like, "Oh, you're camping or something." It's tough.
I know it's is, tough. And while these guys are getting ready, they're almost all rated up. I want to make sure we don't miss this, but let's take a look at their stats before we go into game. So this is the current standings. We have FPS at minus 3.25 hook differential, and Death by Pallets with a 4.75. So Death by Pallets coming out a little weaker with an 11.13 average score versus FPS practically doubling it. I mean, I think tonight we're favoring FPS. What do you think?
I think this would definitely be in favor of FPS. Again, we have 2 games to factor into the stats right now, so it's anybody's game. We saw how much the stats changed yesterday pretty hard for CDM over the period of 2 games, so we'll see as the season goes on, but I would definitely agree that Flops is definitely favored here. Dead by Pallets is the underdog.
With that in mind, then, I guess we're going to have to play them rules video because they're loading in right now, so we'll be right back.
Oh, boy.
Hello everyone, we're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. Hello everybody, my name is Pug, and we're here with Week 3 matchup conference rivals FPS versus Death by Pallets. And yeah, they're loading in now, they're going in right this minute. And we got a Blight already, early Blight game. Fun times for us. I know Rue loves him some Blight, so I'm sure he's looking forward to this one. Yeah. And we do have FPS killing first with Death by Pallets surviving first, and they're not a bad survivor squad by any means. They have a pretty good track record of getting gens done. The only thing they struggle with really is mostly their killer game and a little bit of just kind of their escape. Like they have trouble kind of in the end game. So, but they're actually pretty good at getting, the generators done. And right away, an early down for Blight. Really nice getting that down on Platinum. Checking out his driver squad here. We have Freakazoid looking for a gen. Of course, Platinum Cino on a hook. And we see Pogo on top, cleansing a totem. Heavenly now looking for other survivors. We also see him rocking Corrupt Intervention, which is actually a pretty common perk I see on Blight as well. And of course, we got long hair Casper once again. I see this a lot, and I don't know when they're going to fix this, but I hope they don't, because I actually really love this glitch.
For sure.
Casper's working her way out of the shack, instead going for this one, but going to get the pallets done. Very nice play. And then, of course, we do see Casper escaping. Even though she was injured, he is not going to focus her down, realizing that she might be a little bit too strong in chase right now. Maybe had her Wheaties this morning. Pogo on top, though, being discovered at a nice distance. However, that doesn't matter for Blight because he goes around ping-ponging around trying to find his way to Meg. Seems to get a little bit lost, though, and goes somewhere else completely. I don't know what he's up to. Heavenly changing targets. Survivors have not finished a gen, though. They're struggling a little bit today. Completely reset, however. And once again, we do find, I believe this is Casper 9376, yep. Gonna take a hit inside the jungle gym, and Blight gonna try to focus her down as she's out here in the open, going almost to get that whiff, or almost to get that hit, and instead he whiffs, so very nice. It was really close. but he wasn't quite able to land it. However, he's going to get a hit on Cheryl, it looks like. Yep. Sure does. Or I guess Sybil. American Psycho was calling her Sybil last week. I didn't know who Sybil was, but I didn't realize. I thought he was saying like Sebell. I'm like, who is Sybil? And I'm like, oh, Sybil. Okay, I got it now. I understand. I'm dumb. But yeah, that is the Sybil skin, which I didn't realize that's what he meant. Anyway, Vigo on top is, again, kind of evading chase. I thought she was discovered, but I guess not. This blight is confusing me a little bit. If I'm just being real with you guys. Game volume is really low. Let me see if I can fix that for you, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on just a moment while we cycle through to find the killer, so we don't miss any important stuff. There, I have now turned up the game volume quite a bit. Hopefully that's loud enough.
Ooh.
Very nice hit there on Platinum Sino. Really well played by the Blight. Yeah, Windows likes to turn my game volume down when it... I don't know why. Every time I restart the game, it's back down to like 20% for some reason. I've got it up to 70 now. Hopefully it's a lot better. Can you hear it okay, Rue?
I can hear it just fine. Thank you very much.
Okay, then. That's important to me that you are able to hear it. And again, though, I just want to point out, it has been 4 minutes, and we've only just now seen the generator pop. Literally only just now. This Blight is holding down that pressure really strong against these survivors. Which I am actually surprised, because like I said, if you look at these stats that we had at the beginning, these stats show that these survivors are pretty good at getting generators done, typically. Like 90% of their generators get finished. But oh freakazoid going to go down inside the killer shack. It looks like she was trying to drop the pallet, but couldn't quite make it to the command prompt. A little bit of a mistake there on her part. And that is Captain Oh Freakazoid, by the way. There are 3 captains in today's squad as well. Worth noting.
Foggy,
and I see
people death hook.
Pop goes the weasel already. Oh, really? Already death hook. Yeah, we have 2 people on death hook right now. It seems as though there are 2 that are not even hooked once, and it would probably make sense for these 2 to like trade off hooks and try to get, you know, some aggro. And we see Heavenly getting down on Casper, and that's exactly what he needed right there, is to get a down on one of these other survivors. Well, that's exactly what the survivors wanted, I'm sure. Except a basement hook is going to be a little troublesome. Blights can be pretty powerful in basement because he can get there pretty quickly. And using that, Pop goes the weasel to regress that generator quite substantially. However, I don't think he's going to make it to this other generator, even with his power. No, that's going down. 2 generators out of the way with 2 people on death hook and another on first hook. These survivors are struggling with this Blight. However, the Blight making some mistakes here in the jungle gym, having a little bit of trouble navigating through and kind of ping-ponging himself into a cycle. And so somebody was, what are you doing, oh, Freakazoid? Oh, no. He didn't know you were in that locker, and unfortunately now you're going to be death hook. Yeah, he did not know. I don't think he knew, because he kind of left the area a little bit and then only came back after she jumped out of the locker. And we do see Casper working on a gen, probably nearly going to complete it. Platinum Sino also on a gen, and Pogo on top trying to take aggro and get a hit as they try to finish the generator in his face, getting that down and out of the way. 3 generators done. Casper taking a down as well. Heavenly going in for the slug play at this point with 2 gens left. That is a smart play, and only 3 survivors remain. However, Casper may be getting back up as Platinum Sino is on death hook and could go down very soon. This short wall is a little bit dangerous, a little bit risky. Be careful there. Oh, going back the other way. Blight is trying to mind game. However, Platinum Sino is playing it very nicely and almost takes the hit, but gets the pallet stun instead. Very well played by Platinum Sino. However, you're no longer watching the killer. What just happened to my brain? Please don't do that to me. Getting the fast pallet break. and kind of juking the killer to get him to go wrong way. Gets a ton of extra distance, but might not be enough. Goes down around the outside of the tree, and that's going to be GG for Platinum Cino, ladies and gentlemen. Death Hook indeed. Pogo on top, fully healed back up now. Casper 9736, or whatever it is. Also working on a generator, so, I mean, they're still trying to get objectives done. They're still trying to get those points. However, we do see that Heavenly has a strong advantage going into the endgame. And at this point, in my opinion, if he gets more downs before you get more generators done, I would say just kill yourself. Don't let yourself give too many extra points to the killer, but we'll see how they play it. Heavenly getting down on Casper 9376 and going for the 4-man slug, as I expected he would. And let's take a look and see where he's going. Is he going to stay with the 4-man slug concept, or no, he's going to pick her up now. Okay, so he's decided to pick her up, doesn't want to hunt around for the Megan. And Casper's probably going to let themselves die on hook at this point, to avoid giving too many extra points to the killer. And Meg kind of gently crawling around, trying to be careful not to get spotted. But I think she has been spotted, unfortunately. And Blight almost able to land a hit on her, but she does some weird movement and confuses the Blight. And now it's down to who can find Hatch first. Very nice juke by Pogo on top. Really beautifully played. It is down to the wire. She's going to drop that pallet early. There you go. Very nice. Drop the pallet. Get some of that extra distance that you're going to need to get away. And Blight is going to come in for a hit. Get the hit there. Very nice. That gives Meg a little bit of time to get some extra distance, and she can work her way across the map to see if she can find Hatch. They've covered about 1/3 or 1/2 of the map now and have not found Hatch yet. And unfortunately, not going to get to it. Pogo on top, taking the down instead. And Heavenly is not going to go looking for Hatch. He is just going to straight up hook the Meg first. And I guess he's like, you know, I don't even need it. I don't need it at this point. And unfortunately, that is a 1 hook, 2 progression, so not enough points for Blight to get a, you know, like a 11 or 12 point slug, but he does get Hatch.
That was a Hatch kick.
That was a Hatch kick.
Ooh.
Really well played. Well, GG's to Death by Pallets and Flops. Well done to both teams. Honestly, they did a little bit worse than I was expecting this game, but, I mean, it wasn't too terrible. I mean, they can come back from this, I think. It's going to be a tough score, for sure, but they could probably come back from this. Hopefully, they'll try to. We'll see how they do going into it. But if we look at their build really quick on Heavenly, we see Barbecue and Chili, Pop Goes the Weasel, Corrupt Intervention, and Tinkerer. This is kind of a meta selection. Sort of. Definitely the Tinkerer, Pop Goes the Weasel, Barbecue. I mean, this is a very standard stuff, standard affair. And he has the Alchemist Ring and the Blighted Crow. Now, I don't know a lot about Blight, so I'm not going to go into trying to explain how this works for Blight as much as I can. But the only one thing I do know is when a generator is 70% progress, Blight can get to it quite quickly and prevent that repair progress. Especially if he's just recently gotten a hook, he can use the Pop Goes the Weasel to regress the generator as well. So, yeah. There's definitely some synergy in his build, and yeah, obviously it showed quite well.
Score is correct.
Score is correct, according to Rue. So, Rue, we're going to take a quick break and do the post-game review, and we'll be right back, and you can tell us about some highlights. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching Week 3 Matchup Conference Rivals Flops versus Death by Pallets. And yeah, this is Vigo's court. You're watching it here with Poggy and Rugard. This is your trial number 1 post-game review. What is that? Okay, Poggy. Poggy is a genius. He broke something. Poggy broke a thing. Let's see if I can fix it.
I mean,
no, they didn't break anything.
Their name is all over this break.
It would be easy to blame them, I will say that. 25-7 in favor of Flops in the first game. Very nicely done. I mean, we could say they broke it. Here, I'll run through it again. Let's just for the sake of doing it again.
Michael's logo.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not an expert. I'm not. Anyway, one more time. I just want to go through this again just for clarity. So 3 gens, 0 escapes, 9 hooks, 4 kills. We are an amateur production, guys. I don't know if it's sticking, if it's really showing right now, but it's probably showing. That's Creepy Daddy Michael's currently leading in this Flops versus Death by Pallets game. I'm sorry. There's something really, really funny about that. I can fix it right now, though. Watch. It's fixed. Ta-da!
Hey.
I'm a literal genius. There we go. And of course, it's green screened. We can't win. All right. Rue,
Outstanding.
take us through these clips for me, would you?
Oh man. So when we were talking about the blight build, this was a very standard build, I would say. You could also try and do Ruin Undying with Tinkerer, and that could also work just fine. But this blight put on enough pressure, kicking them off the gens long enough, and then getting early hooks. Pop was absolutely fine for this game. If the survivors would have been, again, we saw when we were cutting to survivors, unlike some of the other games, they just weren't on gens most of the time. You can't get gens done, fun fact, if you don't stick to the gens. So I'm not really sure how that came about. Maybe they aren't used to playing on this map. Maybe they don't know where to check for gen locations. That would be definitely something that would happen if it's not your home map, but still kind of an unfortunate showing for the survivors this time. Didn't get a lot of gens done, didn't have a lot of gen pressure most of the time. And to the Blight's credit, Tinkerer does definitely help you know what's going on and give you some situational awareness. And they used it to great effect. They were constantly harassing the survivors, and the chases just didn't last that long. Most every chase was resulting in a down within 20 to 30 seconds, if I remember correctly. Just kind of unfortunate. Really good Blight showing. Again, being somewhat of a Blight main myself, I love watching Blight do this kind of work. I'm not a huge fan of corn maps, but it didn't seem to bother Heavenly too much.
No, not really.
Again, Blight being so short and being in corn, there were like 2 or 3. It's like this one right here. Really, really good concentration, because you can juke the Blight pretty easily in an open field. If they're not being funneled into an area or bottlenecked, you can turn like straight 90-degree angle, and it's really tough to get that hit on Blight unless you've got like good turning add-ons or something. So
and we saw Pogo on top do that a couple
moves.
times. Very nice.
Yeah. Good moves here and there, just couldn't eke it out. I couldn't tell if they tried to do the pallet right there, or if they were just trying to hide in that corner or not. Because as a Blight, I have missed a hit or two around that corner without them dropping the pallet. I just couldn't, curve into that corner from my angle. But maybe they did miss to drop a pallet. I don't know.
The way she was
Also,
kind of
that
crawling back towards the pallet, the way she was walking back towards the pallet makes me think that she was trying to drop it and just couldn't get the prompt, but I'm not completely sure.
That could be. That could very well be. One thing also that was exciting was that the hatch rush at the end, because obviously neither side knew where the hatch was, so they were just, running into the unknown, trying to see who could find it first. You don't see that very often. That's kind of fun to watch. So that was a nice little bit, but yeah, just very, very solid Blight play. I can't really fault it. Constantly juggling the gens. I would be wary of not running Ruin Undying against some teams because of just how quickly they pop gens. And I guess also too, if they know that you have Ruin Undying, they'll double up on the gen, and you'll like that gen right there that popped. They doubled up on it because Tinkerer, about 3 to 4 seconds after Tinkerer expires, is usually when a gen with a single person will pop. But almost 6 seconds before Tinkerer expires, it'll pop if there are 2 people on that gen. So it does have some drawbacks to running Ruin Undying, because you won't get there soon enough sometimes to get it. And that's where pop comes in handy, I would say, because you get there in time. If one of them gets off the gen, you can kick it. So I don't know. Just I can't say much. Just really good Blight play. Really solid Blight play. Good rushes.
I agree. And I want to just tell Zed in the chat. Zed says, "Does anyone else get max anxiety when survivors don't move their camera?" Yeah, when you don't look at the killer and I'm following the survivor, I get really anxious. I do, because I always have to look at the killer, otherwise I go nuts. But I think it's worth, we can actually move on from this a little bit, because I know there was still some stuff we wanted to talk about with the changes coming up, and one of those was a proposed change, not one that they actually confirmed, which was the Object of Obsession change. Rue, can you explain a little bit about those changes?
Yeah, Salty
That
Medic
are
pointed out. I
proposed.
completely forgot about it. There was again. The devs in big, bold letters at the bottom said, "This is not a confirmed change. This is not even something we're going to go with." It was something that passed the initial phase, and that was instead of Object of Obsession being a constant perk, Object of Obsession turning into a activated, or not even activated, but a timing perk that activates, every 40, 35, and 30 seconds, depending on the tier. And when the killer looks in your direction, both of you guys can see each other briefly, and then it deactivates for however long. So I like that a lot more because it's not nearly as oppressive, and it can occasionally, at that point, it's not nearly as busted for the survivors where they just constantly have a beat on where you are at all times. It's a semi-interesting knowledge perk. It's like, hey, we see each other, and that's it. And so you get brief glimpses here and there.
For
I
a
think
few
it's
seconds, yeah.
Yeah, it's a far more balanced version of the perk. And if they stick with it, I think that's great. I'm glad they're just looking at it in general, because it's either incredibly oppressive for survivor teams to use against killers, or it's just a really frustrating perk to deal with in pubs, because it's just this person that says, "Hey, chase me, chase me, chase me. I have DS Unbreakable and everything else in the book, so chase me, chase me, chase me, chase me." And I'm just like, I want you to die. Stop.
I wonder if if we see that fix go through, if we see it go through, because it's not confirmed, unconfirmed, big bold letters.
Yeah, not confirmed.
But
yeah,
if it goes through, I wonder if we'll be able to bring Object back into the league, because Object is banned from the league because of just how oppressive it can be against, especially against stealth killers in particular, and Hag and Trapper as well. But anyway, that's neither here nor there at the moment, because it's going to be probably several months before we see that change come through. But if it comes through at all, by the way. So just again, unconfirmed.
And an anecdote to that is that the biggest takeaway from it is I'm just glad that they're looking at these things. They don't even have to change them immediately. The fact that they're looking at it means they're taking feedback and listening to it.
All right, everyone, we're going to be looking at how the game works from the killer side. Now, killer points. Each survivor is worth a total of 6 points per survivor. First hook is 1 point, second is 2, and third is 3 points. Progressing is only 1 point. Killer bonus points. Every 5,000 blood points is 1 point. Getting to hatch first is also 1 point. A killer can only be used a total of 3 times in the season. Killers have a 150 millisecond ping limit. Also, should a reset occur, the killer and perks must remain the same. Bringing the wrong map is a forced reset, and minus 10 points. Bringing a killer a 4th time is 10 points off, and changing a build after is also 10 points. Not being on the roster is a 5 point and a reset.
Yes.
Okay, everybody, we're back here again. This is Week 3 Conference Rivals Flops versus Death by Pallets, and we're about to load in right now, and hope you're enjoying the show, everybody. Not a lot of people here compared to yesterday. I don't know if that's because these teams aren't as well known or what, but, we love all you guys anyway. Thank you for being here and hanging out with us. Definitely appreciate it. So, Dre today will be killing, by the way, just so you know. And we have Heavenly on Survivor with, in order, Feed Kills, Heavenly, Lusty, and XX Raz1KXX on the Survivor squad. And our killer is a Spirit with a really hot skin, by the way. That's hot. So, kind of just getting started, checking out her totems. She does see some scratch marks in the back. And using Corrupt Intervention as well to kind of lure the survivors into the operational generators. And she does find Fang here quickly. And we also see one of the survivors working on a totem. So she's going to lose an early totem, I think, because she checked her totem, but didn't realize that the survivors had actually seen it already. And there it goes, Hex Haunted Ground. Oh, shit, this could be bad. It's lucky that Lusty was not caught out there. That is very lucky, because she almost got phased right on top of her, right as the Hex Haunted Ground went off, so that could have been bad. But Dre not having any such luck. Losing a lot of time on his Hex Haunted Ground, not finding anyone, and he's already about halfway through that timer. And they're hiding out. They are being very careful not to get spotted and not leave track marks. They're just waiting out the exposed status. Very smart by these survivors. What? Okay. Lusty doing something. We got some pointing going on. I don't know what they're doing. They're just waiting. They're patiently waiting for a Hex on the ground to go away. That much is really obvious.
I mean, you've got Corrupt and Haunted Ground at the same time. Why try?
Yeah. Yeah, there's really no point. There's really no point in risking it. So, I mean, they're doing the smart play. Haunted Ground now gone, as well as, I believe, we also saw Corrupt Intervention ending as well, and he does find feed kills, so unfortunately, this killer is currently a 2-perk killer. Because they've already lost Hex, Haunted Ground, and Corrupt. Now, Spirit is strong, so she can still work with it. However, she does not get the Dwight. Dwight using Iron Will to great effect against this killer right now. And unless one of her other perks is Strider, she's not really going to be hearing an Iron Will player. And another totem goes down, leaving this killer with one available perk. And currently chasing after Lusty. Lusty getting caught on a tree a little bit there, but getting themselves back in the game, trying to get in this loop, being very careful. Unfortunately, are going to take the hit right by the pallet. I think they were going to try to drop it early, but just barely missed it. And unfortunately, this could be down for her if Spirit gets back. And she does a very nice out-of-phase down on Lusty. Really well played. The survivors are just now working on generators, though. Feed kills about 50% through his. And that's, I think... Yeah, the furthest one along is 90% Heavenly working on their generator. So, unfortunately for our killer friend Dre today of Death by Pallets, he's operating with only one perk. He has nothing for tracking, nothing for anything else. The only perk he has, I can't even tell you, because if I do, I'm giving away the story, and I can't do that. And he's chasing now after the Dwight. However, Dwight being very cautious and is going to take a hit right by the cowshed. A 1v1 at the cowshed. Shut up, bro. I see you laughing back there. I got eyes on you.
Oh my.
And he is again. That Iron Will is coming in very handy. The Iron Will is very difficult to play against with a Spirit, and without Strider, he's not really going to be able to hear them, even with good headphones. This Spirit is struggling to make any headway. These survivors are doing a great job right now. They were very careful to wait out Corrupt and Haunted Ground. They were very careful not to get spotted and get downed. They've only gotten one hook on their team so far. I would say they're doing a pretty good job. So far, at least.
So far.
So far, yeah. And again, still working on generators. That generator almost done. We're going to probably see 2 gens popping within a very short time span. Feed kills, though, getting spotted. May end up going down around the outside of this. Works his way towards the tankard loop. And Spirit is a little bit unsure of herself, a little insecure in her decisions, but does catch up to Dwight. Unfortunately, doesn't get the down as he deadhards nicely forward into the pallet loop. Just a massive struggle for Dre today at this moment. And again, chasing after feed kills. Feed kill's probably going to drop this pallet if it hasn't been already. There he goes, dropping it. Doing a blind on the killer? Interesting choice. But it doesn't seem to matter anyway because... Oh, the killer almost gets the down on Dwight, but barely whiffs out of the way. And does ultimately get the down here at the loop. That is going to be first hook for feed kills, and only the second hook for the killer as we see 4 generators now completed. This score is not looking good for Death by Pallets right now. FPS is a strong team today. And Dwight getting in the way on purpose, probably using that borrowed time to try to get aggro. And Heavenly possibly being in a chase, but no, we don't see any adrenaline plays as the last generator now gets done. However, he does get it down on X-Raz, which we actually missed, unfortunately, because I thought he was chasing the other guy. But he is at least getting another hook, at least a third hook. So at least it's not a complete loss at this point. It may actually be able to secure a kill. And now chasing after, who is that? Oh, Heavenly, right, okay.
Heavenly.
And not really committing to the chase, I don't think, maybe? Probably going back to check on the hook, I would presume. And that is the case. We see the killer over here by the hook. Trying to protect. With 2 survivors injured, it's going to be very difficult to get the unhook without risking one of the other teammates and doing a 1-for-1. And I think that's going to be a down on XX Raz. Like I said, this is very risky play right now for this team. And Heavenly taking another hit as well. They just healed, so that's good for them that they were at least healed up. But, ooh, and a nice styptic agent there right in front of the killer's face. But getting a little bit stuck on top of them, not really using the styptic agent. Heavenly goes down as a result. That's a 2-man slug. This could be a massive turnaround for Dr. Dre if this team is not careful in this endgame right now. And it seems as though he's trying to get a flashlight save while she's running, which of course doesn't really work too well. Kind of just harassing, I suspect. Yeah, they are taking a lot of risks. Honestly, I would have just left that last player on the hook that got hooked at the end game and just gone away at that point, especially after they got the unhook and then someone else got downed. It's time to go. It's time to go, guys, you know? It really is. They do actually open one of the exit gates. And Feet Kill's using his borrowed time, but unfortunately gets picked up off the hook by the killer. Really nice play by Dr. Dre. This could definitely be the end for this team. They are making a lot of mistakes right now. Possibly going to see a confirmed kill and another grab out of a window? Off a pallet, was it? Double hook. Unfortunately, Feed Kill still on the ground. This team is struggling right now against this Spirit. Spirit's doing phenomenally well. And Spirit's trying to get it down again on XX Raz. She's using the loop to good effect here. This could be the time that they need to kind of recover, get Heavenly off the hook, and maybe make their escape. This endgame has become something of a mess. And unfortunately, Raz going to go down, doesn't drop the pallet, and doesn't get out in time. Heavenly gets off the hook with, what was that?
It's like Deliverance.
That was a Deliverance. A Deliverance play by Heavenly. And XX Raz is going to be dead on hook. All the other survivors as well, they are within 1 hit of going down. The Spirit kind of letting Dwight get past. Heavenly is the only one remaining, and where are they is now the concern for this killer. She does find him, though, right there by the locker. Very nice. And, of course, playing at what looks like a decisive strike play. But it's the end game, and she's alone, so that's really not going to do a whole lot of work using that locker. But crawling out could be exactly what she needs. How much time is left on that timer is what makes the difference.
Is she moving faster than normal?
I don't think so. That looks pretty standard.
Oh, it looks like she's... Okay, I was about to say, like, it looks like she's crawling with tenacity or something. That's fast.
No, I think it was the grass.
Oh, okay.
And... yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. It looks like tenacity to me.
It's not tenacity. Tenacity's much faster than that.
Oh, okay.
And that is going to be a kill on Heavenly as well. This Survivor team really made a lot of mistakes in the end game and gave the killer a lot of ability to make up some points at the end. Getting a 2-man kill and a couple of extra hooks.
Yeah. I don't know what they were
bad.
doing at the end there. That was a
lot of bad
silly.
choices were made. Bad choices were made, I think, is what it was. Just overall bad decisions. Tough to say, really. So give me 1 second, guys. I'll go over a little bit of this build in just a moment. So, of course, we saw Corrupt Intervention and Hex Ruin, and we saw Pop Goes the Weasel and Hex Haunted Ground. Now, unfortunately for this killer, the survivors waited out Haunted Ground, they waited out Corrupt Intervention, and they basically got Ruin off the map in the first couple of minutes. So, I mean, this killer was operating off of one perk, Pop Goes the Weasel, the whole game. And they didn't really use it, but I think one time. So it just really wasn't to great effect, unfortunately, for this killer. So I think it was risky bringing this perk selection. When you have 2 Hex perks like that, and one of them is going to go down, and the other one goes down, and then Corrupt Intervention just doesn't last at all, so you end up being a 2-perk killer. I would have maybe traded out Corrupt for maybe Barbecue and Chili or something to do some tracking, maybe Whisper, Spies in the Shadows, something like that. But, I mean, you know, it just depends on the situation. And in this case, for such a map like this, I probably would have considered tracking perks over that, because it's hard to track, especially through the corn. I like corn, but it can be a problem. So we're going to do a post-game review in a second, and we'll come right back and take a look at some highlights. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Week 3 Matchup Conference Rivals Flops versus Death by Pallets. Hope you're enjoying today's show. You're watching Vigo's Court, and this is your trial number 2 post-game review. And here's what we saw. It's working now, by the way. 5 generators getting done in that game with a total of 2 escapes as well. And we also saw, 7 hooks. At first, going into it, they almost had only 2 or 3, but then all those mistakes at the end gave them an extra 4 or 5 hooks with 2 kills, by the way. 18-17 in favor of Flops by 1 point in Trial 2. Currently still leading, of course, Flops by just a small... Actually, not a small margin. It's a pretty decent margin. It's like 20 points or something like that. But, I mean, it's not unrecoverable for Death by Pallets. I don't know. Rue, take us through these highlights. Let us know what you think of that game.
don't get me wrong, I love Haunted Grounds. I don't know why you'd bring that with Not Undying. I don't know, like you said. And I've heard the argument that, Spirit really only needs like 1 perk to be good. Spirit can do, she's just such an oppressive killer that you don't need a ton of, benefits for her. Her power alone is just crushingly good.
But that only applies to really
like this,
MMR.
Yeah. Against teams like this, you need perks. And like I said, I love Haunted Ground, but I would have run Undying. If you had to, if you had to pick Undying or Haunted Ground, Undying 100%. Because they cleansed Haunted Ground. Corrupt and Haunted Grounds both got weighted out. Ruin was gone. A nightmare scenario for a killer going into a league match. Going in, you're like, hey, it was kind of like last night when they popped Ruin Undying almost immediately against Blight. Just like, what do you do? You're playing with so few perks. You have nothing going for you. You're just like trying to get chases, and they did. They committed to chases. They did as much pressure as they could without having gen regression, except for Pop Goes the Weasel, which I guess they could have used more. But the chases lasted so long, you really never got a chance to. And then all that to say, I thought when the survivors were coming around and doing their, bait and switch and, cat and mouse game with that final hook, I thought they were going to coordinate a 4-man escape off of that with, a combination of Deliverance, Borrowed Time, and everything else. And instead it turned from a 1K into a 2K. I do not know what happened there. I don't know if they know what happened. I'm at a loss. They gave it's like we said, they gave the Spirit way more points than they had right to. Yeah, there was no really reason for that to become a 2K. And if they had, I'm sure they would have known if if this is going to turn into a 2K, they wouldn't have gone for it. I'm sure they thought they could get the person out. I don't know what happened. There was a failure to communicate, I guess, possibly.
Communication breakdown. Yeah.
Yeah, breakdown in communication or something. That was kind of brutal. Great for the Spirit. I mean, the Spirit was
was.
like, yes, give me hooks. I am a master at chase. You can't do this. And maybe that was the problem. Maybe they didn't expect a Spirit to be able to hold on to that. Wait, are we going into game?
We are. I decided not to roll the rules video this time around. So, folks, we're back and we're going into game. And, of course, this is the same matchup, Death by Pallets versus FPS, and Death by Pallets still playing Killer with the same Survivor Squad. So, nothing has changed in that regard. And we see instead of Freddy this time around, which, maybe they're a little bit better at Freddy than they were at Spirit. They had a little bit of trouble in Spirit. The endgame they did really well. Honestly, but they did struggle for the mid and early game, for sure. But getting an early hit on XX Raz, this could be a down right here, for sure. And we already know XX Raz struggles, and Freddy using that very nicely. However, we do see a dead hard forward. Getting stuck on the tractor, though. However, it doesn't matter as XX Raz makes a mistake and goes down right outside the loop. Nicely played by Freddy, getting an early down on these survivors there. However, working on totems again. They have not learned a lesson about bringing totems into this game with these survivors. And, oh boy. Let's see how they do it out. That early down is very good. Of course, for Corrupt Intervention as well. And Dre is looking for the injured survivor, XX Raz. Maybe going for a light bit of tunneling. And not going to drop right away, hoping he respects. He does respect the pallet. That could be exactly what she needs. Going to drop it now, getting a stun. Very nicely played. Blinding the killer. Strange choices were made, but I think Freddy teleported away. He sure did, and he went this way. Finding these survivors right here, getting a sneaky hit on Lusty. For some reason, they just did not let go of that generator. I don't know why they committed so hard. However, Heavenly's right back on it like nothing happened. Lusty, now in the chase, having aggro on the killer, using this jungle gym. Being careful not to get mind-gamed. However, he does mind-game her a little bit. However, the pallet also works in her favor. She gets right back over it. Nicely played by Lusty. And working her way around still, trying to avoid getting down. She is very strong in chase right now. Lusty, though, gonna get slowed down and go down right by the pallet. Unfortunately, that is bad luck for Lusty. And with no exhaustion perk, gonna be a problem. Or already used it. At least, it's on cooldown. And we see them working on some more totems as well. That's a dull totem, however. Channeling his dream projection, going across the map, setting some more snares in these loops. And Freddy losing some of his pressure as they get the unhook and are probably going to start working on the heal. But only one gen done so far for FPS. XX Raz being careful not to get spotted again. Feed kills, taking aggro. Working his way around the hay bales, drops the pallet early, getting a stun as well, and waits out the kick. Waiting as well to see if he comes around. He does come around, and he vaults the pallet. Feed kills also playing quite nicely. These survivors, though, are having a little bit of a hard time getting these gens done. They're probably hoping to get the other totem down, and they do get the other totem down, and that is, again, leaving Freddy as a one-perk killer. So similar to last game, where Spirit was left with one perk, we also see Freddy in the same situation, left with only one perk. Heavenly working her way up the tractor. Because she played it well. Freddy did a really nice job getting over that hay bale and gets the hit on her anyway. Ooh. Very smooth. Didn't get hitched or anything. Perfect play across that. And back to this jungle gym. As Heavenly is hoping to get through that window and does make it, but inches through. Unfortunately, there's no pallet here to save her because it's already been removed from the game, and she's desperately hoping to get away using a Styptic agent to remove that situation from there. That was very nicely played. Or get out of that situation. Wow, I am struggling with the English language today. Grade 2 Day is losing a lot of that momentum he had going in, and now another generator popping. 3 generators done to his 2 kills, or 2 hooks. XX Raz around here again, dropping the pallet early, getting another killer blind. I don't know why they keep doing this. It's a strange choice indeed.
It's for the
But
blood
he
points, man.
does get away. It's got to be for the blood points, right? It's got to be it. It's for their daily challenge or something. I don't know.
Oh my goodness.
And Lusty being fully healed. So these survivors are fully reset now. Freddy has no momentum and no pressure. And a nice whiff, too, on Lusty. Didn't respect the pallet at that time, so does take a hit. Trying to avoid the snare. Lusty not getting chased anymore. She's not going to drop that pallet and doesn't go immediately. Instead, this generator is probably going to get done. Freddy retargeting. And unfortunately, I think I can sense a little bit of panic in Freddy as he turns around going back towards that generator that got done, ignoring the Kate completely. Channeling his dream projection. He does see them over here working on Lusty. Tries to get the hit on her, doesn't. And Lusty gets healed back up just in time. Takes another hit, though, so 2 injured survivors right now. Clay says, what are words? I don't know. I'm losing my grip on the English language right now. I'm out of coffee, so it's a problem. Anyway. Where are they going? Oh, Heavenly taking a hit inside the Killer Shack. So now 3 survivors injured. And she is going to step on the snare, probably on purpose to get it out of the way of the loop. Freddy working his way around. However, there's another snare there. This could be a problem. He went the other direction, and she does get the pallets done. Very nice. And I don't know what Heavenly's doing. Getting a little turned around, perhaps. Trying to juke a bit. Very nicely played, though. And we don't see any adrenalines as the last generator pops. Heavenly using the TNL while trying not to get mind game, but does, unfortunately. Freddy did a nice mind game going around the side there. Really well played, and Heavenly ends up going down as a result. However, that's only his 3rd hook this whole game. Are they going to make the same mistake they made last time and give the killer a ton of points, or are they going to be able to get out this time successfully? Let's see how they play this. We do see Dwight working towards the gate. And XX Raz stepping on a snare, distracting the Freddy momentarily. And she does have borrowed time. Very nice. And I think that's going to be a full 4-man escape. The borrowed time was perfect and did exactly what they needed it to do. And not even giving him an extra hit. He's whiffing on these servers at the exit gate as well. And that's going to be GG, ladies and gentlemen. They are all getting out. And Feed Kills taking the extra risk to look for the hatch. If he knows where it already is, I don't know. But he is definitely taking a pretty hard risk looking for it. Or maybe he decided to abandon that idea and go back for the exit. I don't know. Going for the other exit gate. Okay, fair enough.
Wow.
That is a slap in the face right there.
That's a
And
spicy choice.
Freddy decides, no, you're not getting that other exit gate. Screw you, dude. I'm not giving up at the end. You're not just getting an extra point for free. He may not. This may have been a mistake by Feed Kills if he's not careful. He didn't work his way toward a pallet or anything that could help him get extra distance. However, he gets very close to this. Oh my god, what happened there? He got stuck on the window and didn't go through. It was very close. A Dead Hard would have saved him, but he was just not able to pull it out. He did? Oh, I think he dead harded
at
into the window.
To bait the, you bait the hit.
I see.
And it didn't
Actually,
work.
if he really wanted to do it correctly, he could have used the dead hard just to get to the window, and that would have worked fine. But I don't know. He made a strange choice there. He had plenty of opportunity and for time to actually get to that.
I think
I don't think that was a necessary play. It was a weird flex. That whole situation at the end was a bit of a weird flex. Going for the other exit gate instead of just taking your leave, and then as a result, the killer gets an extra down and a kill. So, oops, oops. It happens to the best of us, though. I mean, I can't say I haven't been there, but in competitive play, I probably would be a little more cautious than that. That was quite risky, in my opinion. Quite risky. Oh, well, quickly now, we see a very similar build to his last one. The only difference is he has Undying instead of Haunted Ground. So Dre, using pretty much the same build, which Hex Ruined, Corrupt Intervention, Undying, and Pop Goes the Weasel. And again, he was left with only one perk in the whole game because Corrupt went out of the way, Hex Ruin went down, and Undying went down. Well, actually, Undying first, then Hex Ruin, but... yeah, that is unfortunate for Dr. Dre, but he did get 4 hooks, so I guess it's not nothing, but it's just not going to be enough for them to be able to come back, and FPS is going to have a really strong lead. And are we done with the score tally?
Yes, we are ready to go.
Awesome. So we'll be right back as we do a post-game review. Hold on to your butts. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're watching Week 3 matchup conference rivals Flops versus Death by Pallets. You're watching Vigo's Court. My name is Poggy, and we're going to do your trial number 3 post-game review. So we saw 5 generators getting done this round. Not too bad at all by these drivers. Got a 3-man escape. They could have had a 4-man, but got a little bit too greedy, I would suspect. And 4 hooks by the killer. Not a great showing at all, unfortunately, for their killer, and only 1 kill. So that was definitely rough. 23-10 for that trial in favor of Flops, and Flops is still leading going into trial number 4. And that'll be coming up in just a moment as we go into highlights. Rue, take us through.
I feel very badly for the Freddy. What can you say? They had a good thing going. They were, back and forth a little bit. And again, their totem, did they have Undying?
They sure did. Undying and Ruin with Corrupt.
Oh, and it just cleansed in the proper order. Oh, that's crushing. That's unfortunate. The passive pressure was good. I think they committed too much to some of these chases. Like this one in particular, I understand wanting to go for the survivor that just got off the hook, and maybe, the problem is they're the obsession. You're going to eat a DS if you get them there. I'm not quite sure what they were going for with this because did they get a pallet out of this? Let me see. They did. Okay, so they did get a pallet out of the chase and then immediately left. That was on their corrupt zone. There's no survivors over there doing gen. If you take corrupt intervention, you have no business staying in your corrupt zone for any amount of time other than just seeing if there's a survivor over there if you're trying to get a chase. The survivors are elsewhere on gens. I wouldn't have chased her there. It's the obsession. It did not work out well. And then one thing we also saw the survivors do really well is they threw pallets in areas that they didn't have gens left to do. Towards the end, there were a ton of pallets on the other side that had been used up during the gen process, and just the area where they were doing gens had tons of pallets left, and so anywhere that they were going had plenty of resources, which is something as a killer you have to get used to, is trying to make them use resources in areas that they haven't finished yet, so that if you catch them out of a position, they don't have nearly as strong of loops. Now, that all that said, most of this team, from what I saw, was very, very strong at looping. They didn't seem to have much of a problem, so might have not helped as much, but just tough to watch. Again, I keep calling it low pro chains. The swing chains jump rope is a standard build for Freddy, and it on its own, in my opinion, acts like its own set of perks, just for how strong the slowdown is across the game. Can you imagine? from what I remember, they nerfed those add-ons. Those add-ons used to be way more atrocious as far as the slowdown, and they nerfed them just because of how appalling Slow Freddy was. So I'm glad they nerfed him down a little bit, but just again, survivors. You saw after that chase with the Lusty, or was it Lusty in the very beginning, or Krazix in the very beginning, and leaving and going to that gen. One survivor left the gen, the other person immediately stuck to it because I believe at the time Ruin hadn't been cleansed, and so these survivors just stick to gens. They split pressure, stick to gens, good coordination. Again, at the end there, I'm not really sure what was going on with the Dwight. I think they might have been memeing a little bit. Can't really tell, though. One of the things to notice is that in the post game, the person with the most blood points was in fact the person with the flashlight. So I'm wondering if that might be a new like meta choice on the survivor's part, trying to get extra boldness points by getting those killer blinds and maybe even switching off the flashlight during a match. I don't know. I'm just speculating here. Because, yeah, we saw tons of blinds at the pallet that you normally wouldn't see in a survivor game. So I don't really know what was going on there.
Right.
But I mean, it's what? It's an extra like 1,000 points potentially per stun flashlight blind. So I don't know. I mean, maybe there's something to it. Maybe, you know what? I'm gonna ask them in the post game interview. What's up with the flashlight blinds at the pallet? I'm
curious about
now.
that too.
I'm curious
Yeah.
for choices.
I don't understand that myself because it definitely is not ideal play because you lose a lot of distance and it doesn't really have a great effect. The blind is done usually by the time it's over. Okay, what? I can't finish my thought. You gotta interrupt me right in the fucking sentence. God, Sam. All right, hang on.
Get with it right now.
No, make me. All right, let's do it.
I just did.
Hey, that was actually pretty in sync. That was pretty good.
That was not bad.
I think that was a
Except for like
quality
a massive perspective difference.
Can you shut up? Can you just shut? I'm gonna mute you.
Oh goodness.
I'm gonna mute you. I will do it.
You know, one of these days we're gonna be able to stream all from the same area at some point, and it's going to be really trippy for everybody watching. Who's like, wait, they're in the same location? Just walk over and tackle Poggy in the middle of the stream. Just saying.
Don't do that. Don't tackle me, please. I don't. My back can't take it.
Okay, Hagmain.
Whatever,
Also,
you don't know me.
Wasn't there a new command that you brought to the channel recently?
There was. There is. There be one.
What's the name of this? What's the name of this command you got?
Hag facts. H-A-G F-A-C-T-S. I don't know. I got mixed up. I got kicked. I got kicked from the. Hey guys.
Oh,
wait. I need
Monka
quiet
toss.
for a moment. I gotta. We're having problems. We are having problems.
Uh-oh.
Something's going on with the game.
Uh-oh.
There's a problem, folks. We may not be able to see this last game.
Is Steam servers down?
Maybe.
That looks like a Steam server error. Let me see if I can connect to Dead by Daylight as well.
Oh boy, that's not good.
Yeah, that might just be Dead by Daylight acting up. It does that occasionally. Sometimes the Steam servers go down.
Hag facts.
We will
Hag is
find
a
out
4.4
momentarily,
meter
though.
per second killer. Yeah. Can we connect, please?
I think it might be Steam. We'll see.
Maybe.
Okay, Dead by Daylight might. Okay, Dead by Daylight is loading up into the first, that easy anti-cheat screen. And by easy anti-cheat, it means that it's very easy to get past it.
Can't say what. What did I say? I was spelling hag
No,
facts. I'm dyslexic. And I'm reading the chat. Kieran says I can't say that. And I was gonna say Faghacts. And that was not how you spell that. That is dyslexia.
You can't say that.
That's dyslexia, okay? God.
Oh goodness.
I have a disability.
All
right, it looks like we're back in, so maybe not the end of the world.
No, I'm still getting a connection error. I think the servers might be offline.
Well, I'm back in, so I mean, I don't know what's going on your end.
Start.
There, I do see a few of the other players as well missing. from being online, so they may also be having
They're
this issue.
restarting it.
Okay, so it's
Okay.
not just me. It was everybody.
Yeah.
Is Hagfax really not working? Is that a problem that's happening? It's it's not working.
It worked.
Oh no, it's not working for them.
It's working for them. I can see it working for them.
Is it? They're doing it, and I don't see
Yeah.
Hagfax coming up.
Really, I'm seeing Nightbot. Nightbot's doing it. You're
Oh
good,
yeah,
bro.
okay, there it is. Yeah, I see it now.
You're good.
I
You
was
did well.
nervous. I thought it didn't work because I'm dumb, and it actually is totally working. Hag can lay down a total of 10 traps at any given time. This cannot be changed with add-ons or perks. Yeah, that is a Hag fact.
Good hat fact.
Yeah, so useful. So
We're
that's
gonna,
useful
we're gonna
information.
get caught one day. We're gonna get that tongue tied, and we're gonna say that incorrectly, and we're gonna get canceled.
I'm dyslexic, so it's definitely going to happen at some point.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Man. Anyway, back on the topic of Dead by Daylight. So I think we covered just about everything in this game. Again, I'm really not sure what was going on at the end there. Gave them a little bit extra points. Not too many points, if we're being honest, though. It denied them 5 points for the escape, and it gave the killer, I believe, hook and then 2 progressions. So that was a total of 3 points that they gave the
Right.
killer. So, like, it's an 8-point swing. Now, arguably, with the current score, that's not a huge difference, but I don't know if that's something they'd want to try against a team that's, a bit of a closer score than this. Not really sure what was going on there. Really good use of pallets, though. They were good at managing their resources as a team. At any given time, it felt really bad because towards the late game, when there's a kind of a 3-gen up until that second to last gen got popped, and everywhere in that area there were pallets. I think God Pallet had been thrown at that point, if I remember correctly, but there was a pallet outside of it that was in the hay bales. There was a pallet at the LNT wall. No, not the LT wall. It was the whatever jungle gym that was. There was a pallet there, and then there was 2 pallets still over in the hay bales towards the other gen that got finished. So they had resources for days to loop the killer around, especially without Ruin at that point. Just it's tough. Playing killer without gen regression is tough.
Well,
It's
I mean,
a problem.
but he did have gen regression. He had Pop Goes the Weasel, but
Did
didn't
he have
really
hooks?
get a whole lot of use out of it. No, that's the problem. He didn't really
Yeah.
get a lot of use out of it. But he did have it. I mean,
Nope.
that's the point. And he also had Hex Ruin Undying. It's just unfortunate that it went down so quickly. And that's really all it is. Unlucky,
Yeah,
what you could say.
Again, I'm going to be heavily biased, but I feel like I wish there's a little bit more to the base package of gen regression. Like, I feel like if you kick a gen, it should regress by like 2% instead of just start regressing. I know, hot take there. And I think that if you gen touch, or touch a gen to keep it from regressing, I think you have to hold on to it for 3 seconds before it stops gen regressing. Because it takes us so long to kick the dang thing. I don't know. Gen regression's a problem. And we saw like it last night. Gen rushing is huge in this game. I don't think, like last night's example of gen rushing, I have not seen gens fly off the shelf that quickly before in a game, and it was heartbreaking. We didn't quite see that same gen pressure here in both of these games, but the gens were consistently getting done. And that was just because, again, the survivors were sticking to it.
The only thing I would say in response to what you said is that it's not really true gen rushing as it used to be, like back in the day, gen rushing, but it is still... gen speeds are still not... I mean, I wouldn't call them a problem. It's not gen speeds that are the problem, it's sort of map sizes that make gen speeds difficult to manage. But, yeah, I mean, the perks that increase gen speeds are definitely problematic, I guess, but, I don't know. I have a hard time with that.
That's fair. Like, obviously, we don't have brand new parts in here, right? So there's nothing obscene like that. And yeah, sure, they have balanced it over time a little bit to where it's just not, you load into a match, you're like, all right, where's my survivor? And then 10 seconds in, it's like, pop. It's like, oh, okay. I'll take the 5-minute DC penalty. See you guys next game.
Right. It's not quite that bad. It used to be really bad, but still, they still call it gen rushing because it does feel unfairly fast. I don't think that it is. I think that actually applying pressure can remove that slightly, and using generation perks obviously does help. But I can see where killers are coming from. I really can, having
Still
played
having
both
lobby
sides
issues,
pretty evenly.
but they're coming.
That's fine. There's no rush. I'm gonna use this time though to do some workout.
Well,
So,
while
yeah,
Poggy works out, I'm going to remind chat that we have merch at vigoscourt.tv/merch, where you can get t-shirts and stickers to support your favorite team. I ordered an Undying Alliance shirt last night. I'm going to start repping my team as soon as they get in. I'm waiting on it. I know the delivery here is a bit, helter-skelter sometimes, but I am ready for it. I'm hoping it's going to be here by Saturday. If it can be here by Saturday so I could wear it for the Saturday UA game, I'd be happy. But we also have patreon.com/VigosCourt, where you can support us there with a subscription. What?
Oh, I was miming your words. Vigo's Court.
Okay. Vigo's Court. Excellent. But yeah, I'm really happy about the merch store personally. I did not know we had that much selection for shirts to go off of. I got a jersey style, but I could also see just, getting a regular t-shirt as well. So that's really, really neat. And I think we saw earlier that someone was looking to get a shirt to rep their team. I didn't know see who that was, but go for it. Definitely do it. Rep your team. I think it's really cool. Because, what's better than going to a sporting event and being able to, I'm in my team colors. Yeah, it's sick. It's fun. Now I just wish, I wish Poggy would have a Vigo's Court shirt. Uh-oh.
I mean,
I saw this the other day. They want a Poggard shirt. Sam, what do you think
No.
about that? Poggard shirt?
Poggard
Yes, no?
isn't a thing. You guys made that up. It's not a real thing. There is no Poggard here.
Okay, I guess the question is, if a Poggard shirt came, would people actually get it, or are they just teasing?
Actually, you know what?
I would.
Poggy, do you realize that I started a campaign that is called Increase the Cringe, where they can donate channel points to increase the overall inventory of the Poggard High Five?
What have you done?
Oh,
Oh no!
what did you say?
Oh no!
I have no idea what he's talking about, but sure. You know what we need? We need
Also-
one that's like Poggy do 20 reps for like 10,000
Poggy,
points.
I don't know if you realized, but you said you only have eyes for brew on stream earlier, so we all heard it.
That's not what
He's
I
right,
meant. Okay. Actually,
perfect.
ASMR Dwight Moans, I think, asking me, how heavy is that? No, the Alpha RPG. Sorry about that. Alpha RPG, it's 4 kilos. It's about 8.8 pounds. I have several more of these. I think up to 15 kilos. But I'm only doing 4 pounds. 4 kilos. 8 pounds. 8.8 pounds. So,
Clay,
but they do it in kilos here.
Clay was asking who we're playing against. We're playing against Port Mafia. UA versus Port Mafia Saturday.
Right.
You're going down, Clay. I'm taking you down with me. I love you.
I'm gonna do us both a favor, and we're gonna take a little ad break in just a second. I think.
Ad break. Are you gonna push the button this time?
What do you mean this time? I always push the button.
I thought we
I
did.
can push the button.
Oh, you pushed the button.
Well,
Okay.
I'm not even gonna push it now, just to spite you. I'm just not even gonna do it. I'm not gonna bother.
I pushed it.
How dare you?
Why did you push it now? Now they're gonna see the ad before I say there's an ad break. What's wrong with you?
Uh-oh. It's gonna cut
Wait
us
45
off randomly.
seconds. You have to wait 45 seconds.
Just randomly
Remember?
gonna get cut off the conversation into an ad. Mid-roll.
There's so much we could talk about because there was that recent, just today, the developer stream. And I didn't get a chance to watch it live because obviously it was like 3 in the morning here when it went down. But I did watch it this morning, most of it. And my opinion is mixed because on the one hand, I'm glad that they do those streams. I think that it reflects well on the fact that they're at least opening up to the community. But I think that even with that, they just don't really listen to the community in spite of opening up to the community. It's really strange. It's really strange because, like, for example, the UI thing, they brought it up during the stream, and I just watched the chat go by just saying, we hate the UI. The UI is bad. Please don't change the UI. Leave it the way it is. It was just comment after comment. saying that, and then they just keep going on, ignoring all the comments, going, yeah, the UI is gonna be great. Like it's like they're
we're
living
back
in
from the
another
ad break,
universe.
by the
It's
way.
really weird.
Also, Poggy, one
Thanks.
fun fact: anyone who subbed doesn't see an ad. They just see
that's
us
fine.
live still.
Okay. I mean, that's good for them, I guess. I mean, I didn't
Okay.
actually go on an ad break, so I thought Sam was joking about that.
No, I
No, he went on ad break.
pushed the button and went on an ad break.
It's just that I'm subbed, so I don't see an ad break, and anyone else that is subbed also doesn't see an ad break. We're just bullying Poggy over here. He's just gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm done. Bye." Oh man, do we have any word on the lobby yet? Are they still having connection issues? It's
Here.
unfortunate.
This is where they are right now.
They're doing things and making
We're just
things
killing
happen.
time right now. Yeah. And we really have no
Oh,
filler
man.
for this show. Nothing.
This killer is mood for the current situation. It is absolute torture trying to get a lobby right now.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Have we seen
Let's get them
torture
together,
before?
though. No.
That's kind of cool. See what they do.
I like the name.
Maybe throwing in second string or something like that.
Oh, well, what was that? A gift sub from Lesbian Love. Very nice. Thank you. You gifted it to Only True Paradox. Welcome to the jury, Only True Paradox, and appreciate the support, Lesbian Love. Thank you so much. Glad to have you all here in the sub team, the jury, as it were. I eat ads for breakfast. By the way,
Paradox just said they had 4 ads in a row.
the other people who don't see
Ooh.
ads are people that use ad blockers, so that's a fact as well.
Not true. Twitch forces its ads through ad blocker now.
Nope, not for me.
Oh, tell us what you use.
I use 2 ad blockers and a script that removes
Oh,
the
okay.
ad block detection.
Spicy. You're gonna have to
Because,
give me the deets.
That's my privacy, and if I'm using ad block, you don't get to dictate that to me. If I'm gonna, we're using a script to see if you're using ad blocker. I hate those websites that do that, especially the news websites. The one where I'm just trying to go get information. It's like, we see they're using ad block. You're not gonna get to read this news article until you disable ad blocker. And I'm like, there's a really easy way around that. Just stop the loading of the page before ad blocker gets detected.
Rude. Rude. Mr. Anonymous browser over here. Going down the dark web. Going
web,
down the
no.
Silk Road.
I've used Onion before, but I've only ever surfed it for, legit stuff.
What's the legit
Anyway, what
stuff?
do we got here? Legit stuff,
Another gift
What was
us
that?
from Lesbian Love to Alpha RPG. Thank you
Hey,
so
another
much.
one. Thank you. Appreciate that. Welcome to the jury, Alpha RPG 23. Alpha RPG 23. I think I said it right the first
It
time.
rhymes,
Appreciate it. It does kind of rhyme. It does.
Hey, is that 4 survivors I see?
That is 4 survivors. They're all in here, and they're kind of just taking their sweet time to get rated up, and that's fine. I think they're probably just resetting their builds and stuff, because usually when the game crashes, your build ends up kind of resetting to whatever it was before, or whenever you were in MMR or what have you. It can be kind of broken. So maybe take them a few minutes to get back in.
On that point, actually, that's another good thing to bring up. In the dev stream today, the devs hit on that again, and they said that it is a high priority for them to add that feature in to save builds. I really, really like that. I really like that.
I'm surprised it's taken them 4 years to do it, but yeah, it's nice to know that they're at least doing it.
Better
I'm
late
happy to
than
see
I
it.
never.
really wish you would stop shitting on my favorite developers.
I'm not shitting on them. I'm just saying, there's some stuff that's been suggested since day one, and they haven't done it. So, I mean, it's just interesting. I'm not blaming. It's, they do what they do. They do what they do, and that's fine. I'm not shitting on them. I love this game. If I didn't, I wouldn't be here. God, what a clown. What a clown.
Can we also just talk for a bit how game dev Patrick is absolutely stunning on camera? I wish I had that kind of composure.
Truly, I do love this game. I promise. I'm not just shitting on it. Okay, we'll be back in just a moment. We're going to look at these survivor scoring rules, and we'll be back for the last trial until tonight, 11:30 p.m. Eastern is when the last trial actually is, by the way. late game tonight. All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the survivors side earns their points, and let's look at all their objective score points, counting down from 5 generators. 5 and 4 are worth 1 point each, 3 and 2 gens are worth 2 points each, and 1 is worth 3 points. 1 escape is worth 1 point, 2 escapes is worth 2 points, 3rd escape is worth 4 points, and the 4th escape a total of 5 points. Every 16,000 scored is worth 1 point. First to hatch also gets 1 point. Survivor penalties: bringing banned or limited items, perks, or add-ons is minus 10 points. Changing build after reset is also minus 10 points. And starting with the wrong skin or avatar or a non-listed roster player is minus 5 points as well. All right, folks, we're going to be looking at how the survivors side are... Okay, folks, we're back. Welcome to Vigo's Court. This is Week 3 matchup conference rivals FPS versus DBP, or Death by Pallets. And by the way, we just got Fear the Dark Wolf giving it 3 gift sub to J. Rue, Telly TTV, and Brian DeBocat. Welcome to the jury, everybody, and thank you, Fear the Dark Wolf, for that amazing support. Appreciate it tons. You are amazing, and thank you so much. And we're going to get into the game right now, by the way. It is now. And we see this guy, this freaking guy right here. Oh, boy. And we're on the wrong map.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
That is Ironworks of Misery, I see.
That is not the, that's not it. That's not the right map.
Stay on that screen for just 1 second.
That's a 10-point penalty.
That is a 10-point penalty, yes.
All right, you're good. I just needed to take a snapshot. Go ahead.
And I
So
happen to know that
FPS
this team is going to accept it.
Yeah, FPS is taking a 10-point penalty, and DBP is going to be accepting. So, oh boy, that's not good.
Not a good way to start it.
Not ideal. No, not ideal. I mean, we just came back, and you know, mistakes happen. I understand. They must have thought that it saved their settings from the last game or something. Maybe they just forgot to reset it. That is unlucky. And of course, now we know the killer is going to be a Pyramid Head as well. Just, you know, hag facts for you.
Hag fact.
PP Head. It took me like a second to register that we were on. I think that was, what was it? Coal Tower?
Ironworks
Misery? Ironworks, yeah. Ironworks Misery. They look very similar. But yeah, I mean,
which
that is
in fact a team map, I believe, this season, right?
It is. Not this one, though, is it?
Nope. No.
Oh, boy. Well, we're back here in the waiting room. And that's okay. That's okay, really. I mean, these mistakes happen.
That's fine.
But we are going to see that penalty go into play. I assume, Sam, are you just confirming that they're accepting the penalty?
Oh, it's already done and moved on with.
Can you apply the penalty? I do not know where to put the penalty.
It's on the second sheet called fouls. I already done it.
All right,
thank you. There we go.
Yeah.
I got it, Sam. I'm looking at it. You don't have to correct me at every turn, okay? I got this.
I'm just.
I got eyes. I got eyes. Let us run the show.
You do need glasses, so.
Wow. Okay. Shots fired. Thanks, Sam. Let me know how you really feel.
The glasses correct my vision. If I wasn't wearing them, you might have a point.
The glasses protect my vision.
I'm getting annoyed now. I'm quitting. I quit.
Oh, all right. Well, guys, this is Vigo's Court. I'm your judge and counselor, Little Rugard. I'll be commentating this next game while Poggy goes and does something. But it's okay. I got this. Don't at me.
I love how he could just turn his TV off to leave.
It's pretty great.
You should probably announce a rule video.
We already done the rule video. Do you want to do another one? All right, we'll do another one.
Oh,
another one.
Hello, everyone. We're going to be going over these rules and explaining how they work. So, 2 teams will go head-to-head, playing each role twice for a total of 4 trials. In play order is home team kills, survives, and then kills. In addition, teams get points in the trial for objectives, escapes, and hooks. And teams can't bring or use keys, iridescents, event items, or add-ons. Survivors can only bring 2 of a perk or item. Survivors can only bring yellow and brown items, and BP bonuses are awarded post-trial. Broken rules may result in penalties or restarts. I've got. Oh, hey, we're back, and welcome. This is Week 3 matchup conference rivals FPS versus Death by Pallets. And yeah, we're going in again. Hopefully, things are in order this time around. Let's take a look. Yeah, this looks much more like a corn map. So I think this is right. And we do see a fractured cowshed back there, so that's got to be it. Really, it's just a barn. I don't know why we call it a fractured cowshed. It's a barn. Just call it what it is. Anyway, Pyramid Head is a pretty impressive killer. Hopefully he can do pretty well on this one. I think we'll be seeing that from these survivors now getting in a chase. Casper already in the early chase. And Pyramid Head using his power to great effect to mind game the survivor into making a mistake, and it worked perfectly. And he is going to get the down right through the window. Very nice play by Torture. By the way, I love that his name is Torture.
Playing the executioner.
So already, yeah, exactly. Already a first hook for Torture, and the survivors not yet finishing a gen, although some are getting pretty close to done. And I think Busta Gibbs is going in for the unhook, and Pogo on Chop's going to try to finish their generator. Platinum Cino maybe taking aggro. No, sneaking around instead, which could actually encourage Pyramid Head to go back for the hook. So maybe aggro would have been a good idea to take there rather than sneaking around. But, you know, they do what they do, and we see a totem falling. Busta Gibbs getting a totem and taking a hit. Maybe not. I don't know. Another totem. 2 totems down. 3 totems. What the hell?
Word.
These guys are focused on totems. Let's go ahead and take a look at Pyramid Head. I want to see what his totems are. Meg, that was fantastic, by the way. That juke right there. Wow. That was really well played by these survivors to get that many totems that quickly.
That was crazy.
And he's still chasing the Meg. Maybe gonna get her down here. Yeah, right as the pallet gets dropped. Unfortunately for Pogo on top, gets a little bit unlucky with that pallet. Not bad at all by the Pyramid Head. And Sam, can you confirm the score is also updating, or do I have to fix that too?
Rue's keeping score, so you're gonna have to ask him. I don't have the scorecard up.
Thanks, Sam. You've been extremely helpful.
So welcome. So welcome.
Yeah, thanks. I don't think it actually updated. No, it's not updating. We'll fix it now.
Not. Yeah, never mind. They're already unhooked and healed too. That's impressive. Wow.
Yeah, they're all completely reset. However, we only see 4 generators still up. 1 generator completed. That is not great for this survivor squad. They may struggle here quite a bit. This Pyramid Head, even though he doesn't have a lot of pressure, does get a down on Platinum Cino. And I think we're going to see these survivors maybe pop another gen. Maybe. But it's not looking too promising, I don't think. Let's see how they do. Busta Gibbs, no, not even close on their gen. Wow. Pogo on top taking a hit. Platinum Cino hanging out still. That gen was pretty close to getting done, but not close enough. And Busta Gibbs is going to take a hit as well. This Pyramid Head, despite having not a ton of pressure, is still pressuring enough to keep them from finishing gens, which is, you know, there's something to be said about that for sure.
Good juggling.
Yeah, absolutely. And these survivors, I mean, they're not doing terribly either. I mean, that right there was not ideal, but at the same time, what are you going to do? You're going to vault the window and take the Rights of Judgment hit? Or, you know, I don't know. It's a tough call in that situation, and they just didn't make the right choice. And that'll be first hook for Busta Gibbs. So 1 hook on every survivor and 2 generators done. Another one popping during that chase. And a whiff on Casper. What is he doing? He's smacking the generator. So now he has one hook on every survivor, which, that's actually not too bad. That's actually good. He's dividing up the hooks nicely. He might want to start considering focusing down one particular survivor, trying to get downs on them, and, maybe tunneling or at least focusing on 2 survivors instead of spreading out too much, because then you're risking them getting all generators done and still not having any kills. And we see that now 3 gens completed. Pyramid Head chasing after Megan, I believe. Or was. Seems to have abandoned that chase. Pyramid Head is in a crucial moment where he has to start making some decisions, and he's got to make them quick. And I think he may be thinking about that right now. I don't think that was the right decision, though, because that generator was barely touched. It probably wasn't worth kicking, to be honest.
He doesn't have a horrible gen setup on this side. They're a little bit spread out, but he can just kind of patrol if he needs to.
Right. Yeah, I mean, he's not doing terribly at all. It's just he's having a little bit of trouble locating survivors, but does find Casper, gets a nice Rites of Judgment hit through the pig loop. I don't know what you call it. Pig tree, I guess. Platinum Cino taking a hit, though, working her way back to the generator, trying to focus generators. These guys aren't doing so bad. That was a nice stun, though. And we do see her trying to blind the killer to no success. And a generator is probably going to pop here in a second. Platinum Cino no longer being chased. The killer abandons them, and another generator pops in the process. This may be curtains for Pyramid Head. Now, every survivor is injured. This is actually a good position for Pyramid Head to be in, but he needs to start capitalizing and potentially slugging survivors at this point. And instead, he just decides to immediately abandon the Meg. Going instead for the generator, which isn't a bad call, but we see 2 adrenalines popping simultaneously. Both survivors that were right over here having adrenaline. Casper taking a hit at the exit gate, pulling aggro. Probably going to have another survivor jumping right at the gate. Yep. Pogo on top, fully healed. Busta Gibbs doing the same. Yes, sir.
We might actually see them make this game comeback. I think this is a comeback.
It might very well be. I don't know if it'll be a full comeback, but we'll see how they do. They've done really well up to this point. These survivors are surviving nicely. They're doing a really good job.
You know what they say. Don't call it a comeback.
Sam, why are you even here? Why are you here? I don't understand.
Because this is exciting, Poggy. And I want to be present for the excitingness.
Oh,
I got things to say. All right, so we have Casper dead on hook, unfortunately, but that was a decision they made. I think they want to avoid giving him any extra points at the end. So they do take a 3-man escape and getting 2 gates open as well. They did get both
2
gates
open? Nice.
Yeah, they got both gates open. So really well played. These survivors did fantastic this time. I mean, they started off a little weak in the first game, but then came back strong in the last one. And just really quick, looking at the Pyramid Head's build, we can see, what is this one? Save the best for last. Barbecue and Chili, Hex Ruin, and Hex Undying. And Hex Undying pretty much stayed up the entire game. The only thing was they had already gotten rid of so many other totems that Hex Ruin had nowhere else to go, so we didn't have Hex Ruin for the majority of the game. But Barbecue and Chili coming in handy. He was able to get some information to go track down survivors, and then, of course, save the best for last, letting him swing a little extra, but it just didn't really work out for him in the end. These survivors did much better than he was able to pull off. But he did okay. He did okay.
The score is correct.
It's for Dwight says, tell him, Poggy. Yeah, all right, whatever. Shut up, Sam. All right, so This is your Vigo scored
question.
post-game review.
Run that trial.
We're going to talk about it in a second. All right, FPS versus Death by Pallets. This is your Week 3 conference. I don't understand why I keep getting interrupted by Sam today. This is really annoying the fuck out of me. But we saw trial number 4, 5 generators getting done from our Survivor Squad with 3 escapes. And yeah, we also saw 5 hooks only from the Pyramid Head. So unfortunately, and I think that puts Death by Pallets ahead for this one, 10-23 in this trial, Sam. 66-57, though. Death by Pallets still falling behind by 9 points, and that means Flops is going to be convicted of murder. So well done to Flops. Even though they were able to come back a little bit in this last game, it wasn't enough for the overall score, unfortunately. Flops had a stronger lead and tied pretty much in game 2, 18-17, a very close score. So it just wasn't enough. But GG's to them, GG's to everybody involved, and we're going to look at some post-game highlights and then work on getting some post-game interviews. We already have some people waiting.
Real quick, I just don't want to do the wrong prediction. So Death by Pallets won that match, right?
Yes.
Death by Pallets won that trial, yes.
So what I will say is that the reason I said this, they might be making a comeback, if that, well, who was it? If Casper actually got out instead of going down there, I think the point differential would have been enough to swing it to at least a tie, potentially. Because instead they got second hook and a progression. But if that was not the case, they would have gotten an escape. Which, I think that's like an 8-point swing, which is almost enough to tie the game. I don't know, that was, oh my goodness, that was so close. I was about to say, like, oh my goodness, is Death by Pallets going to pull it out at the last second? That was crazy. Oh my goodness, such a good game, such a good game. I think we got Casper in the lobby. Want to go ahead and bring him in and start interviews? I'm asking because I can't actually pull them in.
Yeah, neither can I. So Sam, you're gonna have to be the one to do
Oh
that.
yes, I'm coming.
Okay.
Jesus, what is with you today, buddy? Are you just like not waking up? Did you have your Wheaties today? Did somebody pee in your cereal? What's going on? You okay?
Oh my word.
It's just been a long day. It's just been a long day.
That's fair. Sam has really had a long day. It's been a rough couple of hours for him. So, yeah, we're back.
Casper.
Well, am I free to talk?
You're here.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
No, you're not allowed to talk.
Wow. Okay.
Shit. Fuck. I'm sorry.
Welcome. What's up, man? We got questions for you.
Good. How about you guys?
Pretty good. That was a really fun match to watch. You guys almost clutched it out there at the end. That was really, really close.
I actually thought we fucking had the win until I looked at the score. I don't know, but it's final judgment. So I was kind of shocked that we didn't kind of lead a little bit, by like where we didn't win by at least 1-2 points maybe. But shit happens. Life goes on, you know. So
yeah, that last game right there, I think if you had actually gotten out, it might have almost been a tie. That was just how close you guys had pulled that lead down at the end.
I'm always I never could go into a game unnerved or fucking unrattled so far. I'm not trying to use that as an excuse at all. That's definitely not an excuse. But it does happen when, you know, you're hoping, and sometimes, you know, so you got some people that, you know, ain't giving you no info, and, you know, if they're going to make it or not, you just kind of worry about that a little bit. But no, I think what rattled me the most, honestly, is that Blight match. Not that the Blight match itself, but when I was almost done with that gen in the barn, I went to go for the window and it threw me in the locker, and it happened twice. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, dude. And yeah, that kind of rattled me after that.
I feel that on a spiritual level. I've played I've played games where I play as Blight, and if you slide off the geometry, you just lose a chase entirely. No, sometimes the game performs not quite as intended. I feel that happens.
I was definitely closer to the window, and then it fucking threw me in the locker. I'm like, yeah, because perfect fucking placement for a fucking locker right in front of a fucking window, you know.
Could you tone down the F words a little bit? That's a lot of F words. We're gonna have to mute you if you do that
I'm
again.
Sorry,
That's
guys.
a lot.
I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know we were like, you know.
We are not in New York City.
I didn't know language. I didn't
we
know
are a family
I'm sorry. I was calming it
channel.
down a little bit.
This is a Christian Minecraft server.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
What game are you playing?
That's a little fucking far. No.
Shut up, Sam.
I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness, you're
I
killing
didn't
me.
mean to hit that many apps. I swear like a trucker, so it was my bad.
It's all right. I'm
Oh,
just
goodness.
mostly teasing you, but it's okay. Moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
it's
like you
fine.
guys had, well, somewhat of a rough start, but you guys made a good comeback towards the end. So you guys gained your composure back, which is really good. What do you think you will be working on this week to try and perform better at after seeing, how you guys performed against flops?
Man, I'm thinking about fucking start running pubs, no perks. I was already doing it on and off, so I think I'm gonna just have to go full Swift team and running no perks to kind of get everybody's judgment a lot sharper, kind of ordeal. But it's the fact that some of the people on our the team work and stuff, so it's really hard to get a schedule going on different things, because we were supposed to scrim against Rugard. I'm always calling him Polgard because of Eagles Court fans and stuff, but yeah,
I've started doing that too on
against
accident.
him, which I had a joyous time scrimming against him, but fucking like we didn't really have anybody on the team on, so it's like, well, now I feel like an ass for setting up the scrim, so that's why I kind of slowed down on setting up scrims until we could kind of get as a team our base composure and start getting more practice and really.
I mean, I'm still, hit me up in my free time. I'm still down to do it. Now, again, if I'm not, there are tons of killers in the league that are looking for scrims, I can guarantee you. So don't be afraid to try and approach us.
It's just some of the timbers on the team when they work and stuff. So like I'm just trying to I've been telling them, give me some days when you guys know you're going to be on or available. Let me know so I can try to set up scrims and stuff. And they're disappointed that we keep losing, but I keep telling them bro, I'm trying to fucking get you guys to practice more shit like that. It's I'm not asking for the whole week, guys. I'm just asking for at least 2 to 3 days, get some practice in, But we'll little by little keep getting more adjusted to the comp and hopefully keep bringing stronger and stronger games each time we hop in the matches.
Well,
this one was really close. So.
Yeah, it was. It was a good showing. Just like you said, practice makes perfect. Just keep it up. And if you want to stick around for a little bit, we got Lusty from Flops. So, yeah, just wait just a minute. Lusty, are you there?
Oh yeah, I'm here.
Hey, how's it going? You guys had a pretty great showing tonight. What was your?
I don't agree.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we played really bad. I'm not gonna lie.
Really? What do you think you played bad at? I'm curious.
Our chases. Honestly, we shouldn't have that. I think both games. First game at the end, we kind of we knew Uka or Heavenly had Deliverance, and we are just trying to play around that. But we all it was all disorganized, and then we just sort of flopped.
I will say that the two ending scenes had a little bit of what are you guys doing? But during the actual gameplay, it looked fairly solid. Are you just referring to the end, where you're trying to make those escapes? You ended up giving him an extra kill. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, just extra hooks and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. We were curious what happened there. Was it a breakdown in communication? What is it?
Yeah, it really was. Somebody called to do one thing, and then I said to do something else, and then his was definitely the right call, and we should have just went with his. So I made a bad call, and then we end up doing a bad, obviously the bad plays at the end. So.
Okay, fair enough. So, with that in mind, are you guys going to be practicing specifically the end game collapse then, trying to make sure you guys get good, successful runs, or you guys got other things in plan?
We definitely that, because I know we still, obviously everybody has a lot to practice on, but we've been working on something and somebody, I think maybe Poggy brought it up. He was like, why do they have 2 flashlights if they're not even something like that? But
what?
We brought 2 flashlights because we were going to do something about them with the flashlights, but they ended up bringing some really strong killers, and we're all right, we'll just play this safe, and then we did. So we didn't really use the flashlights at all. So bringing the flashlights was just pointless. Yeah.
Okay,
They're
we were talking about, was it
situational,
a new meta to get the extra boldness points and try and go the blood point route or something? I was kind of curious.
Yeah, we have plans for that in the future, but yeah.
Okay.
It's not a bad idea. It just is so situational to me that it doesn't really seem to be an ideal situation for, league games, I think. But I mean, sometimes we saw Freaky JT get a flashlight save I think at least once. And so, I mean, it can
Yep.
You know what,
definitely be a
though?
thing.
You know what though? On that note, Deity pulled off that in-game collapse.
Yeah.
Save with the double flashlight blind. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
well, there was that too, but specifically in their first game with the unhook me Adam perk. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Deliverance.
Deliverance. They did the deliverance and then body block the way they did, and that just made me realize that meta's going to develop based on strategies, and it's it's easy to say like, oh, I just don't see that's going to pan out. But if they had told me they were going to bring deliverance and use it in that way, I would have been like, seems unlikely. And
Right.
sure enough, so power to y'all if y'all are going to try, if y'all have a plan in your mind, because there's even on my end, I'm like trying to help Undying Alliance, even though I'm probably really not going to be playing much with them. I did commit to the team, and we've been talking about strategies, and it's the same thing, things that you wouldn't expect to see in here that could still be powerful. That's a conversation I think every team should be having.
If I can give some words of advice around that, something I've said on my stream a lot as I've been practicing different ideas and random builds to see what I can make work. If it's something that's situational, you have to try to put yourself in that situation to make it work. So definitely you want to practice getting yourself near a killer if you're planning on doing flashlight saves, things like that. So I mean, it's tricky, but yeah, you gotta practice getting into situations for situational things, and that can be hard. Anyway, just a thought.
So one last question, I was curious because I wasn't expecting to see a pyramid head that last game. Is Torture somewhat of a pyramid main? Is that why they brought it, or was it considered a burn killer to you guys? Where does it fall on the tier list?
It was a burn, but I'm also trying him out as a killer. So we wanted to see how he does against his team, and that's all we wanted to really do. And so yeah, it was kind of
okay. So second string trial practice kind of thing. I got you.
Yeah, it's just some practice, because I felt like even if I think the only way for them to come back, well, yeah, we did do that, the map deduction, yeah. But I felt like end game when they needed to like go for like more escapes and get more points off of things like that, but they didn't, and they just all left, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess we win.
Right, yeah, it was really close at the end there. I was kind of concerned. I was like, wait, if they get a 4-man escape, does that tie it? I was really concerned, but yeah, you guys ended up pulling it out anyway. Really good stuff. Really good showing from you guys. That's really all the questions I have for you. Do you guys have anything to say to each other after that match?
GG's, dude.
GG's, and by the way, they were fucking. They low-key wanted to save me. They low-key wanted. They're like, we're gonna go grab it. I was just like, no, you guys fucking leave. I'm sorry, Poggy, but you guys leave. I don't want to chance it. And if we take an L. And if we take an L, we take an L. It happens. But I didn't want to take that risk, honestly.
Well, I'm actually pretty. Like, I've been watching the games in the league, and there's really good teams out there. I'm gonna admit there is some competition. I can't wait to play like everybody. Like it's fun. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, I've been having a marvelous time in Vigos.
Well,
Vigo's made me enjoy Dead by Daylight again. I'm not gonna lie, because I was in the verge of quitting Dead by Daylight because they don't know how to balance a game correctly.
You're not the first person who said that, and you're hopefully won't be the last person to say.
I've been playing this game since 2017, and the meta, like Poggy says, always changing, and some things are just situational. And sometimes when you try to plan something, it's not gonna work. But if you don't plan something, sometimes it just comes and happens. So that's just the weird way of Dead by Daylight.
Well said. And I think with that, do you guys have anything you want to say to the stream before we close out for this match?
Appreciate y'all watching Vigos. Keep watching.
Yeah, same.
Thank you.
I agree. You guys are doing a great job. Keep it up.
Well, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate you guys coming in for interviews. I hope you guys have a great rest of the evening. But
I always enjoy the interviews.
Poggy, what happened? What did you do?
I don't think you guys saw this, but I put in a prediction while Casper was talking that was, will he say the F word again? And it was probably, or maybe he learned. And somebody, it was like 70-30 in favor of probably. And then Clay lost all his money and goes, "He cursed again, bro! My money, you hooligan!" And it was just fabulous. So yeah. Thank you.
Oh,
Well,
my
I'm
goodness.
glad to be here for that.
Oh my word, you guys are amazing. Well, anyway, let's move on with the evening. We got another match coming up in a couple hours. We got, who is it again? Who's playing tonight?
11:30 p.m.
Eastern. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a late one, and it's going to be DT versus WO. That's Deity versus We Overslept. So Deity's coming back tonight, but they're going to be on late. Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Oh, that's going to be a match. I'm excited.
Yeah, it will be very
All
fun.
right. Well, that concludes this match. That was Flops versus Death by Pallets, with Flops being convicted of murder 66-57. You've been watching Vigo's Court. I was your judge, Little Rugard. This is Poggy, your wonderful counselor. And if you haven't already, check us out on
together they are
VigoCourt.tv/merch.
Why are you still here?
A plug. What are you doing? I was plugging. Why? No.
So before the first gen even pops. Trying to bait out a hit there, but not able to get it. Ricky JT able to get away. That was a missed decisive strike. And that is an insta-down.